Hi, I'm Reed Shelger with Paradigm Training Center in Houston, Texas. And today I have a message for kids and parents of kids who are considering wrestling but are unsure if it's the right activity for you. So I want to share my perspective based on over 20 years in the sport as both an athlete and a coach, and my involvement with the youth wrestling club here at Paradigm. So why is wrestling such a great sport for kids? To start with, I want to say I understand wrestling might seem scary or intimidating because of the physical contact involved. But the truth is, wrestling is fun. Wrestling provides an outlet for the natural human instinct that kids have to want to roughhouse. If you're willing to put yourself through the physical rigor that it takes to be a good competitive wrestler, it's because you really love to wrestle. And we have that in common with our teammates and with kids from other teams across the country and around the world. There is a true fellowship among all wrestlers. When we compete, we try our best to win and to be champions. We wrestle hard, and we're trained to be aggressive, tenacious, and relentless. But we're never trying to hurt or injure our opponent. We simply want to win the game, and it's a game that can be won by physically wearing down and mentally breaking our opponent. But we show respect before and after the match. There's so much to be learned from the sport of wrestling. There are physical benefits too, which are common across many sports and other forms of exercise, like getting in shape and losing body fat. But there are some important lessons that I think wrestling teaches better than most. The first is hard work beats talent. You do not need to be a God-gifted athlete to be highly successful in the sport of wrestling. If you aren't over 6 feet tall, and you can't run very fast or jump very high, you're going to have a tough time finding success in a sport like football or basketball. But wrestling could be the perfect sport for you. And if you're willing to work hard to prepare yourself, there's no limit to what you can achieve in this sport. Next, wrestling makes you tough. Not only in the sense of physical durability, but I mean tough in the sense of when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Because in wrestling, you're going to face adversity. And we either shy away or we learn to persevere. And we learn to push ourselves even when we feel like quitting. Next, wrestling teaches humility. To wrestle is to struggle against another person the same size as you are, who's trying their best to pin you down, which can be a humbling experience. And if you come into this sport too cocky or arrogant, you're going to learn what it feels like to be put on your back. And so, while wrestling helps to build confidence, we also learn to be humble and compassionate. And finally, wrestling teaches accountability. When you're on the mat in wrestling competition, it's you alone who's responsible for your performance. You must rely on yourself and the work you did in preparation to earn a victory. There's no one else to blame as in team sports. And yet wrestling is a team sport in a sense. Anybody who's had success knows nobody gets there alone. We need teammates and training partners, just as we need parents and coaches to support us and push us to be our best. So thank you for listening, and if you're ready to give wrestling a shot, I encourage you to find a USA Wrestling Club near you and join the Fellowship of Wrestlers. And if you love wrestling, please share this video and help introduce our sport to more kids. Thank you.